In the last chapter of the Book of Unwritten Tales.
You seem to really know a lot about magic.
More than you, anyway. Maybe we should switch places.
Maybe you should have a big steaming cup of shut the hell up. And now.
Come on, Wilbur. You can do it. You can inspire your students.
Or at least turn them into something hilarious. With your misfiring magic.
That's better.
So what about the magic runes?
No one knows the name of the gnome that defeated Grandma. Nice try. Feet off the desk, or I'll make it bite them off.
There you go. What are we doing?
Enough with history of magic. Let's cast some spells. Fairy games. Doesn't sound bad, right?
Okay. Well, those look horrible.
Impossible!
Not bad, eh? Wow. That is magic. And here you can learn how to control it.
And so hopefully so can we.
That's it for today. Tomorrow we'll do something else.
Well, that was a very short lesson, I must say. This must be the mother of the little girl right there with the crown.
Oh, sorry, honey. Get rid of that, will you? I need a word with Mr. Weathervane.
Yes. If she's a princess,
Mr.
you must be a
Weathervane,
queen, so where's your
nice to
crown?
finally meet you in person.
And you are?
And you are?
How very precious. I rather thought it'd be wise to watch out for you, Mr. Weathervane.
Why watch out for me?
You only play the innocent little country yokel. I always knew that.
No, he really is an innocent
Your
little
patron,
country yokel.
Archmage Alistair will not win the election against me. Did you know that we're only 3 points behind him in the latest polls?
That's still behind.
No, I wasn't aware of that.
So, why did you shoot my fairy?
You shouldn't have just shot my fairy.
Do not underestimate me, Mr. Weathervane. I am very well aware that those are not fairies.
What are they then?
Cobolus Vergastus, flying kobolds. Don't tell me you conjured them up yourself.
Yes, I did. All 5 of them.
Amazing! Powerful magic is needed to manifest living creatures.
Well, we're a powerful
That
mage.
is why most necromancers only reanimate skeletons. Dead matter can be much more easily controlled, as of course you know.
Yes,
Or should know.
Of course we know that. How would you ever think that we wouldn't know that? We are the mighty Wilbur Weathervane. The mage who defeated all those bad things.
How may I help you?
Help me? One of the Archmage's top men wants to help me.
Who are you?
You know how the game is played, don't you, Weathervane?
Sure.
What game?
Things are heating up. The House of Cards is starting to collapse. I know it, and Alistair knows it too. We both lie low, waiting for the other to make a mistake. And he has made the first.
I hope you are going to start making sense soon, madam.
I'd rather play solitaire. Or can I just watch?
Huh, well said, Weathervane.
Thank
This
you.
time, there can be no spectators. Everyone is either for us or against us. This time, it's about the future of this town and the entire country.
You know, seeing as how you and your, who I'm assuming is your daughter, are dressed, I think you're probably the source of the pink epidemic. And you remind me of Dolores Umbridge, I think, which is quite a coincidence, considering, well, something happened in the Danganronpa series where I'm playing. You can check that out. I've got links at the end of this video.
What mistake did the Archmage make?
He hired you. A gnome with a fake diploma issued by none other than the Archmage's brother Marcus.
I earned my diploma honestly. I have passed all 3 of the exams and...
Gnomes know nothing of magic. Everyone knows that. And you've never taught before.
But we're the only one
But
willing.
Archmage Alistair believes in me.
As the head mage, he appoints the professors. But I'm the merchant council leader, and I assign the administrative posts.
Right, and that
Headmaster
means...
Block will reveal your incompetence, and the newspapers will report on the Archmage's dubious personnel policy before the election.
I don't like you.
The new headmaster. Who is he?
Horatius Block. A good man. Very correct and very strict.
Just so.
If he can help this school return to its former glory, I look forward to working with him.
Former glory? This old ruin, it was already run down back in my day. And wherever it was for the last 20 years, it definitely looks like they didn't have any cleaners.
Well, why don't you get to scrubbing then? Yeah, Archmage Alistair is a great man, and my friend.
My friend, Archmage Alistair, is better suited to bring the city and the country back into shape than anyone else.
Even though we've never
you
actually
believe
met him.
that? He is a great mage. Anyone who doubts that is mad. And he was a great leader during the war, most of the time. But what we need now is someone who understands the economy.
And that's you?
I am a rich and successful merchant. I have rich and successful friends. Who could be better suited to making others rich and successful?
Alistair would step down for you if he believed that.
You know what? I actually believe you're right. Strange, isn't it? How little he worries about defending his power.
So I guess it's all been said, hasn't it?
Indeed. You're on a sinking ship, Withervane, but I could still be convinced to throw you a life preserver.
I trust the Archmage.
Then, Mr. Withervane, you shall perish with him.
I kind of
Here,
doubt that.
elect Sybil Van Buren. She knows how to get it
Well,
done.
finally we get your
Come
name.
along, honey. We're leaving.
There aren't any of these in my book of fairy tales, Mama.
I know, honey. Who wants to look at something that ugly?
Well,
Can you turn him into a unicorn?
it's better than
or
looking
the
in the
Cheshire
mirror
Cat,
for her.
Or the Frog Prince?
and somehow I feel that someone like her, rich and powerful merchant or whatever, has very little interest in making others rich, because then she herself would not be considered rich. Oh my gosh, so much to look at. What have we got to grab? Oh yeah, we need our wand for sure.
It didn't let me down this time, though. It worked even better than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it wanted to conjure. I could hardly keep it under control.
Is it sentient, perhaps?
Ooh, crazy drawings and symbols. That must be really high magic. Only the wisest mages can understand all that.
Or the most stoned? Please look at the cage.
I suspect that some sort of strange magical creatures were kept in the cages. Students, for example.
That looks like a bit bigger than a student. Of course, that could just be perspective. Can we look at the kobold? Yeah, we can.
The little fellas look like they've got nothing but mischief in mind. I hope they don't get into too much trouble.
Right, can we control them in some manner?
They're ugly, but I summoned them. Therefore, there is a special bond between us.
Is there now? So you're like their adoptive daddy? Yeah, he doesn't seem to like you very much, Wilbur. Anything else?
They're ugly, but I summoned...
Apparently not. Our apparatus?
Unusual. This device looks more like ordinary engineering than it does magic.
Doesn't it, though?
Most magical devices have lots of golden parts, elaborate decorations, and bells and whistles, just the way the mages like them.
Mm-hmm.
This one could easily come from a gnome workshop.
Maybe it's a bit of a crossover.
What does it say? The apparatus that corrupted student Allardyce. A warning to those who do not want to accept the limits of magic.
Okay.
It seems a student by the name of Allardyce made this apparatus and it brought him grief. I don't know why. Compared to the things lying around back home in Gnome Hole, this apparatus doesn't look particularly dangerous.
It doesn't, does it? And yet that worries me.
What does it say? A warning.
Okay. Huh. That is very interesting. Is it a good apple or is it wormy?
Teachers are traditionally paid in apples. I got this one myself, because I didn't want to spend my first day without an apple.
I hope you're paid in more than apples, Wilbur.
I wanted to ask the Archmage whether good teachers can expect any other form of payment than apples.
You should have.
But when he showed me the beautiful contract with the seal and all that, it just didn't seem to be the right time to talk about gold.
Oh, Wilbur, it was the best time to talk about gold. Now, what is that book?
This book looks very old and important.
Maybe we should take a closer look at it, huh?
Half the class had runny noses. Most were recaptured.
Of the noses?
This is the roll book where the teacher writes down any unusual events.
Oh. Well, should we do something like that?
Maybe I can find something in the roll book about this Allardyce mentioned in the note on the apparatus.
Ooh, maybe. Surely we're not going to release the epidemic with this apparatus.
Here. Despite repeated warnings, young Allardyce continued his experiments on his fire maker.
Oh.
To my great regret, I must say that the device works. He demonstrated it to the staff.
Why is that a regret?
We had to have him committed to the asylum in Arkhamstone because of his delusions and insubordination.
What?
A wizard who invents a fire maker and then committed to an insane asylum by other wizards. I guess they didn't understand his new kind of magic back in their time, or they figured their monopoly was in danger.
Right.
For a long time, wizards were the only ones allowed to make fire.
Yeah, that all seems very corrupt, doesn't it? Is there more?
Maybe I'll find another entry on Allardyce.
Maybe. Seems important.
Yes, here, bit earlier.
Okay.
Today I made a disturbing discovery. Young Allardyce, very gifted but also nonconformist, was making drawings of an apparatus. This apparatus could start a fire without magic. Of course, I took the paper away from him and showed it to the headmaster. He ordered 2 weeks of detention in the dungeon and added the drawing to the offender's file.
These guys are very hidebound. I don't like them. Of course, they're gone now.
A talented mage invents a fire maker and is locked up for it. The machine remains on display as a warning. Pretty steep, but it fits with the stories about mages in earlier times.
Okay.
They were the only ones allowed to start fires. It was against the law for normal people.
Which is insane.
If a fire in a house went out, they had to call a mage. And of course, he charged for his work.
Makes sense.
They used to say, the faster the coin falls through the slot, the faster the wand makes the stove grow hot. Nowadays, everyone makes their own fire.
There's more?
Young Allardyce's fire-making plans could still be in his file. Someone should send them to his family and apologise.
Absolutely. He may still be alive, though, Wilbur. What's the date on these things? Well, it's gone now. I don't want to keep looking at this quite yet. I'm afraid I might trigger something, since it does seem to be quite important. Now let's look at the desks. Hurry up, Wilbur. Move those little legs.
I don't know who that boy was. He was a right pain in the ass. However, he seemed to understand a great deal about magic. And if I managed to teach him some manners, he could be an excellent student.
Well, that's good. You have an optimistic outlook. Is there something interesting hidden here?
Generations of students have left their mark, especially in the form of little pictures and sayings carved into wood. Here's a particularly long one. For all drifters and troublemakers, condemned to write the same sentence on the board over and over again, no problem. Cast the automation spell on the piece of chalk and it does it all the work for you. Bartholomew. Hey, that's cheating.
It is.
Pretty clever, though. The spell carved into wood down there, I'll just write it down.
Oh, nice. We just acquired a spell. Awesome. Hopefully there'll be a bit more of Wilbur actually doing magic in this game.
Why work when you can do magic? The automation spell.
So it's good for things other than chalk. It looks like it's got a little picture of Johnny Five from the Short Circuit movies too. A fairy spell too. Ah, so whenever we manage to cast a spell now, we actually have things that we can use it
The
for.
spell worked excellently. Well, even if the fairies do look a bit strange.
Well, they're flying
I
kobolds.
think I've
That's fine
summoned
though.
enough of them for now, though.
Awesome.
Master Marcus's number won't help me anymore. He's probably already on his way to his live role-playing game.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever wants to be rich and successful should trust the rich and successful. We know how it's done. Elect Sybil Van Buren.
Yeah, seems like false logic to me. All right. Yes.
Ooh,
What
Chantal
about
forgot her
little
book.
Mrs. Book
Seems
here?
to be a book of fairy tales, but one of the tackier kinds.
In what way?
My dad used to read me fairy tales when I was a kid. The bloodthirstiest, most cruel, creepy, proper fairy tales.
Right. Yep, like fairy tales should be. Brothers Grimm style. Oh, we can take it?
I'll just leave it there. Chantal can take it tomorrow.
Oh. But I want it.
I'll just leave it there.
Okay.
Chantal can take it tomorrow.
Got a feeling we might end up needing it.
This is the desk that Chantal, the daughter of the council leader, and little Timmy share. Hard to imagine two students being any more different. Chantal is only here because of its tradition in her family, and I don't think she really cares about magic or has any real talent for it.
Oh, really? So
Timmy,
she's
though,
a squib.
well, he is eager to learn and was so excited the last few days. It's for students like him that we have to get this school back up and running.
Right. Why wasn't he here, though? It was only her and this guy over here, whatever his name was. Open the table flap.
A pencil case. A ruler. Nothing special.
All right, we'll keep that in mind, though. They may be useful.
This is the desk that Chantal the... Hard to
Okay.
imagine. Timmy, though.
What about these? More
I don't
brochures?
think the Archmage even has brochures like these. No posters or town criers or plays.
He's hoping
Either
for his
he lacks the
reputation.
gold, or he doesn't want to conduct his election campaign in this manner.
Yep. Seems to be a very forthright person, though that may not serve him well in politics.
I don't know exactly why the council leader left the brochures lying here. It was agreed that children can't vote. First, they wanted to base eligibility to vote on size, which of course led a resistance among us gnomes and the dwarves. And then they said weight should be decisive. The more you weigh, the more weighty your vote. But then the trolls and ogres would have been overrepresented. In the end, they agreed on a minimum age. However, there are still arguments because rats, undead children, and other minorities can never vote.
Oh. Well, that's true. Except undead children would still age. I mean, year-wise, they may not grow anymore. So maybe that is not quite kosher. Can we look at the fish skeleton, please?
When the school disappeared 20 years ago, obviously no one looked after the animals. Expected consequences, really.
That's true. Apparently when I try to click on something during an idle animation, it doesn't go through.
I don't need the whole skeleton, but a sharp-pointed bone like this might just prove useful.
Okay. Sort of as a needle, perhaps? Are we going to need to do some stitches?
That's a small bone from the fish in the glass jar. It's very
Huh.
sharp and has a kind of a hook at the end.
Okay. That's interesting. Treasure chest?
It appears they wanted to replicate the fish's natural habitat as exactly as possible, including miniature treasure chests, just like the ones frequently found in the sea.
I don't know where you're getting your information from, Wilbur, but I don't think that treasure chests in the sea are a very frequent thing.
Hey, some old coins. Maybe
Well,
one of my
that's cool.
predecessors had a vicious fish guard his retirement fund.
How much money did we get?
Few old coins. They must have been underwater for a long time. You can hardly see the detail.
Looks like we have 3. I don't know if that's an actual representation of the amount.
Introduction to magic, sheep breeding and care, statistics. That seems to be some kind of timetable.
Lesson plan, maybe?
Well, as long as I'm the only teacher, most of these subjects won't get taught.
Right? Especially the sheep breeding part, which is unfortunate since it seems to be a very important part of mage culture from what I remember.
Oh, most of the plants have dried up. No one looked after them.
Except
Only
for
this
that
plant
one.
must have found a water source somewhere. Perhaps one of the windows has a leak.
Or perhaps it is a carnivorous plant. It is moving.
It gives you hope to know that something beautiful and peaceful has survived in this gloomy building.
Yeah, it's fighting with the kobold. Yeah. So that's not very good, Wilbur. We should stay away from this. Of course, you walk right up next to it.
Maybe it was always a carnivorous plant. But then again, perhaps it adapted to its new environment to survive.
Yeah, how are we
Don't
to
worry,
know?
little plant. From now on, I'll take care of you. You won't have to go hungry anymore.
What are you going to feed it? Flying kobolds? Oh, Jesus.
That's disgusting. Oh, that smells like rotten eggs. Oh, like Grandad whenever he's eating bean soup.
Well, these are dangerous. Approach the plant. Let's not, at least for the moment.